Have you ever wondered about the history of the White House? It's such an iconic building, but its story goes way back.
Yeah, I know it's where the president lives, but I don't know much about how it all started.
Well, the story begins in 1790 when President George Washington signed the Residence Act. This law set aside land along the Potomac River for the nation's new capital and the president's official home.
So Washington picked the spot for the White House?
Exactly. Alongside Pierre L'Enfant, who planned the city layout, Washington chose the site at what is now 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Soon after, there was a design competition for the presidential residence, and an Irish architect named James Hoban won with his practical yet elegant design.
When did construction start?
The cornerstone was laid in 1792. It took about 8 years to build, and in 1800, President John Adams and his wife Abigail became the first residents, even though the house wasn't fully finished yet.
What happened after that? Has it been the home for every president since?
Yes, every president since Adams has lived there, but the house hasn't always looked the same. For example, during the War of 1812, British forces set fire to the White House in 1814, causing major damage. It was rebuilt under the direction of James Hoban, and President James Monroe moved in by 1817.
Wow, I didn't realize it was burned down.
It was a tough time. Over the years, there have been several additions. The South Portico was added during Monroe's presidency, and the North Portico came later under Andrew Jackson.
How about the inside? Has it changed much?
A lot. Theodore Roosevelt made major changes in 1902. He moved the president's offices from inside the residence to what we now know as the West Wing, giving the family more living space. Then, President Taft expanded the West Wing and added the Oval Office in 1909.
That's the office we always see on TV, right?
Exactly. The White House complex grew over time. The East Wing was added later as a reception space. Of course, there have also been renovations to preserve the building's safety. For example, during Harry S. Truman's administration in the late 1940s, the entire interior was reconstructed because the old structure was failing. They kept the outside walls but rebuilt the inside with a steel frame.
So the White House is a mix of old history and newer construction?
Yes, it blends history with modern safety and functionality. It symbolizes not just the presidency, but also the nation's endurance and evolution.
That's really fascinating. I never knew how much history was packed into that one building.
It's truly an American treasure. It also hosts many important events, welcoming foreign leaders and serving as a center for national decisions.
Next time I see the White House, I'll definitely appreciate it more knowing its rich history.